Well, I'd like to call the meeting to order, please, if we'd all stand for the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory forever. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Hunt.
Present.
Mr. Minor.
Here.
And Mr. Garwood.
Here. Fellas, have you had an opportunity to review the minutes of December 31st, 2015?
I have, sir, and I move a motion that they be approved as presented.
And I'll second that.
Now stand approved as presented. This is our reorganization meeting for the rest of the year. So I'm going to turn it over to Pat before we proceed any further.
What we're going to do first is look, we're going to ask for nominations to fill the office of the chairman of the Fairfield Township Trustees for 2016. If you would, please.
I move a motion that the same man be approved.
I will second it. Mr. Helm stays chairman for our board.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to announce that Mr. Robert Hum is successfully voted to be the chairman of the board of Fairfield Township Trustees for 2016. And now we're going to ask for nominations for a vice chairman for the board for 2016.
And Barry's the vice chair, so we're going to leave that the same too, Carl?
I'll nominate him.
I'll second that.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And Mr. Hum?
Yes.
We're going to announce that Mr. Minor was successfully voted to be vice chairman of the Board of Fairfield Township Trustees for 2016. And now I'm going to turn the meeting back over to Bob to begin the new year.
Now I'm going to turn it back over to you
Okay.
for your report, Pat.
Okay. Presented you with a few things tonight, not a whole lot, but gave you a corrected second page for the Board of Zoning Appeals, given me previously a couple of addresses that I needed to correct, and I didn't do it before I gave it to you. But so that page is corrected as I gave it to you tonight. We have some housekeeping things to take care of, guys. There are 4 resolutions that we need to look at. And, pardon me, the first one is a resolution establishing workers' benefit days for 2016. Do you want me to read this aloud? Like the whole resolution?
Is it the same as last year?
It's the same as last year. I mean, you didn't sit, unless you're making changes to it. 10 paid holidays and 2 personal days with cause and no accumulation of personal days. And the vacation days are explained after 1, 2, 5, 10, and 20-year increments, beginning with their anniversary date of hire. No accumulation of vacations and no vacations paid on a layoff. And also,
The 10 holidays. Isn't there 10?
yes, yes, there's 10 holidays.
I'll move that motion, Pat.
Second.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
And Mr. Godwin?
Yes.
The next one is just reestablishing the equal opportunity policy. It is the same as there's any changes to it. The language is the same as it's been in other years, that you approve the equal opportunity policy, Fairfield Township, Columbiana County, equal employment policy statement. Do you want me to read it?
The same as last year.
It's the same as last year, correct. Right.
Do we have a resolution to approve that?
I will so move.
Second.
Mr. Hung?
Yes.
Mr. Godwin?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
And the next one is to a resolution authorizing the following appointments for 2016, and they are as this past year: Melvin's the road supervisor, Kim's the zoning inspector, and Mike Landsberger is the cemetery sexton. And there's no recommendation in there for a fire.
Prevention officer is vacant.
Right. Do you want me to add that to this? I just left it blank. Do you want me just to add that it's a vacant presently?
Yeah, I would leave it
Okay.
vacant
Okay.
presently. Because our intention is to appoint somebody eventually, right?
Yeah, I think because we just had those two with nothing new.
Just the
so
two people, that's
Just
it.
haven't determined how we want to get together with them.
Okay.
Do we have someone to adopt this resolution, please?
So move.
And second, Pat.
Mr. Hunt?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garber?
Yes.
The next one is authorizing me to request the property tax collection monies as they become available. Instead of once a year, they'll send it to me in increments, all except the general fund, and I don't ask for any money for the general fund till the end of the the season. But each of the other accounts, it just says that you request the Columbiana County Auditor advance the first half and second half 2016 real property collection monies as they become available for all funds except the general fund, and be therefore moved that the general fund monies be forwarded at final settlement of each collection period, and then I'm directed to forward this request to the County Auditor.
So move.
Second.
Mr. Humm?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
And that's basically all I have for housekeeping measures, and nothing more to enlighten you on.
Melvin?
As far as what the crew and I have been up to, we've been continuing with ditch cleaning, especially in areas heavy with leaves and cross-culvert drainage ditches that I have been finding that needed attention during the compiling of cross-culvert lists. Also, on inclement days, we've been doing some minor repairs and maintenance to equipment. Did our December sign inspection. As far as the weather has been going, we were only out twice in December, actually none in November, and twice so far in January here. So that's been pretty light, as we all know. The next thing is, we've also been working on the Case 895 Alamo mower. We actually took the boom off of it because many of the pivot, mostly all of the pivot points, pins, bushings, some bearings and such, have a lot extensive wear to them. It's getting kind of not real operator friendly. Last time we did it was in '98, so I've compiled a parts list and I got some quotes on it from Southeastern in Orion Equipment, and I would like to request a PO for Orion Equipment to rebuild the boom, to get new pins, bushings, and other bearings and things that we need. And also in that, I would also like to get some mushroom shoes for the snow plows to put on stock, because we don't have a lot in stock.
Part of the same
It's for the same
company.
So we just put it together.
Yeah. Okay, you're going to rebuild the boom, and what, I didn't get the last part of that.
It's all to do with the swing arm on the boom mower, the bearings and the pivot points,
Okay.
and a lot of pins and bushings.
What year is that now?
A 91.
You need a motion for that back?
How much did you want? And we will in a second here, Carl.
I would like $2,300.
Resolution. Now I would like to have a resolution, or sure, a purchase order for $2,300 to Orion Equipment to buy supplies, or not, maintenance materials for the rebuilding of the, I don't have it written down here, boom on the Case 895, right?
Yeah.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
I forgot to write it down. I have to look it up.
That's okay. Yeah, you can let me know.
I'll get it here tonight.
Okay. Also, along with that, the one piece that's on the bottom that holds the blade assembly on the mower, it was $750 to get it through Alamo, and I went in and talked to Oaks because it's just a piece of steel with some holes in it, and Jack said he could make it for about half that. So I would like to get that done at Oaks, and also while I used the last 6-inch auger that we had for our salt spreaders. One was worn out, and we put the new one in, so I would like to get materials to build some more augers for the salt spreaders. And that's also, we get that through Oaks.
And okay, and Oaks Welding, part of it was $375 or something like that. How much do you want there for Oaks?
For Oaks, I would like to have $1,200.
Okay. And then for the auger parts, that's coming?
Yeah.
That's with that?
With that.
Okay.
Once again, it's, yeah.
The total's $1,200.
Yeah.
Okay. Mel would like to have a purchase order to Oaks Welding for $1,200. If someone will approve that, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
And then I need one more PO. The pickup truck needs new tires. So I called a couple different places and they were through the government pricing that we get through our purchasing. I would like to get a PO for Columbiana tire sales in the amount of $531.12.
We've bought them from there before. They're in our system, aren't they?
Correct. They didn't used to have the government pricing out there. That's sometimes why I went to some other places like
It's now available there.
but they do have it now, yeah.
Okay, Melvin would like to get a purchase order for $531.12 to Columbiana Tire Sales for 4 tires for the pickup truck.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Hum?
Yes.
Mr. Garwood?
Yes.
Mr. Minor?
Yes.
I was holding out to after the first of the year.
That's all right. That's okay.
Now, I was telling Bob, I spoke with, it's called NV Solutions. It's making the signs that we're going to be getting through the government, or ODOT's grant. and he had some questions about some signs. But anyway, he said the rest of the signs should be showing up in about 2 weeks.
He had questions on some of the signs, you mean? Is that what you
Yeah,
said?
with some of the road name advance warning signs that he had
okay.
some questions on. Not anything huge. And I was telling Bob, I haven't heard about the post yet. Last I had talked to that guy, he said around the first of the year, so I would anticipate hearing from him soon. And then the last thing I think I got here is I called Dexter Company today about our truck bed to see where we were at with that, because they also had said around the first of the year. And I talked to them, and he said he called Galleon, and then he called me back. He said Galleon should be done with the bed at the end of this week, and they should have the bed by the 13th, he thought. So he wanted me to bring the truck out by the 15th, and they were going to start on it on January 18th. And he said he
You're
thought...
going to take it to Dexter?
Yes. And he thought that they would be done with it by the first week of February. Just to give you an update on where that was at. And that's all I have.
How are we doing with our computer and email and that situation?
I had Daryl here yesterday to do a couple things, and he's promised me he's going to have that situated by next meeting, some things in place. He was off work for about 3 weeks. He had his foot operated on. His toe basically detached and reattached. It was, I guess, a lot more involved than what he originally thought.
Intentionally?
Intentionally.
Probably a childhood injury with all the boys, probably.
Yeah.
Well,
So who hurt him when he was a kid?
well, I'd probably have to admit that I did that more than once. I was the bigger brother, so...
All right. Anything else, ma'am?
No.
Kim?
No, we have a written report. Just a reminder that I had announced that there was a zoning commission meeting on January 21st. They are going to need to reschedule that. In fact, I was just checking my email because they're working on it right now. The emails are flying, so as soon as they pick a date, I will let everyone know and update our website. We appreciate their volunteer service. They had set it 3 months ago, and things happen. 2 of the board members are not able to make it on that date. Other than that, you have my year-end report if you have any questions. It's basically all good news, knock on wood. And I was going to ask about the email, so you already got that for me. And that's it.
Okay. Carl?
I just wanted to bring us up to date on the Columbiana thing.
Oh, the annexation.
Yeah. What do you have to say about it?
Well, I hope it stays in the area. Evidently, it's not gonna become part of the city of Columbiana. But I'm optimistic and hopeful that it stays in the area. Because this county could use the 100+ jobs.
Yeah.
So hopefully Tad will keep it here. Since he's in charge of the Port Authority now. Anything else, Carl?
That's all.
Barry?
Just a couple things, really not a lot. Did the county have time to come up and talk to you at all, Bob, from our last meeting, that they were going to look at those structures? Okay, so we're still kind of waiting on that to happen. And
Yeah.
I forget who was coming.
I'm Bob, that's Mel.
I'm tired.
Hi, tired.
So nobody's come up?
No. They haven't contacted me or came up.
Other than that, sent that letter. I've seen a response back from Hillport for the note for pad site. Did they go out and fix that today?
I didn't get by there to check up on it. I'm going to check on that.
Said that they did, though, so.
Right.
That entrance was pretty bad. I sent Mel some pictures of that entrance out there, and he forwarded them on to Hillcorp, so they said they were going to address that and take care of that, so.
And who was that? I missed what you said.
Hillcorp. At the Note.
Hillcorp's, it's over on,
At Woodville.
yeah. I was going to tell you that the other day, because I go to the opposite side of the road when I go down there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's getting to be tracked out there.
Well,
It just pulls it out.
for future sites, we've talked, we're going to have them pave those approaches. And that's probably, I missed that when we were doing this with the Romans. But in the future, we need to have them start paving those entrances anytime we get any more sites.
ODOT requires them to put a hard surface in, don't they?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I missed the ball on that one, so I'll take ownership of that. Other than that, just we had our 2 letters for fire prevention officer. Bob, how do you want to proceed with that?
Well, that was what I was going to ask you folks. Our next meeting's on the 21st. We could do it at the very beginning of the meeting, because I don't think it would take too long. There's only 2 of them. Go into executive session and talk to them one at a time. See what they have to say. We'll give them a copy of what the statute says their duties are, and then come back into regular session.
Sure, that'd be fine.
I mean, rather than having a special meeting. I mean, there's only 2. It's not like when we interview for the road crew and that, where we have 6 or 10
I'm surprised we
or
only got
whatever.
a fireman.
Yeah. So I was a little surprised we only got 2, and no one from Columbiana.
You want to go into executive session to interview?
Yes, yeah, the 2 of them, and I'll contact them and see if they can both be here on the 21st. If they can't, we may have to pick another day or something. We'll take care of it then. Okay? So we're going to leave our meeting at 7 o'clock then on the 21st, and we'll just open it and go into executive.
Okay.
Good. Pat, I see the IRS mileage rate decreased.
Yes. We don't, you know what though, since we bought the pickup, we don't pay anybody. I mean, we don't have anybody we pay.
So it was 55, wasn't it?
54 now.
54.
Yeah. I don't ever remember it decreasing in the past. That's kind of interesting.
And Kim, thank you for the year-end report.
Probably because gas
Is
is
that what you
down.
had mine? No, that's fine. We used to
Probably
do
because
it.
gas is
I
down.
don't think anyone
Well,
appreciated it.
that only started recently.
Yeah.
I think that's when we did.
So maybe they know something we don't. Yeah, it's nice to look at that report, see what's going on, because the past couple reports that we've received, boy, they were nice, nicely done, put together. And it's almost like they hired a professional company to put it together. Kind of answered all your questions and everything.
Or,
The township for your meetings.
oh,
I was
yeah.
impressed with some of the...
Yeah, our application.
Yeah.
Are you talking about, yes. I've really, I mean, again, the applicants have to take ownership, to use various, of getting the information, but I've really worked with them to try to say, you know, put your best foot forward, give them everything they need. So
Mhm.
I'm glad you're seeing that that's working out.
Yeah, the last one was real nice. Last couple, actually.
Well, they were well thought out, and you can tell people put time into it.
Right, right, because we're willing to help anyone, but they do need to understand that, you know, it's a big deal, and they have to make some effort, so.
Right.
And once we have a few good ones, I'll be very honest, we had a really good one a couple of years ago, I kept a copy, and I show that to new applicants and say, you know, because we look a little like this, and that seems to help too. People just need an idea of what they're, you know,
Right.
what do you want from me? Oh, okay, I get it, and they'll
Right.
go and put
Right.
those together, so I'm glad you appreciate that.
And have you been able to print up any applications for, you know, alternates, since we seem to have...
I don't know, I have people that keep coming around, and I don't know. That's one of our excellent applications right there. She was did such a good job.
Oh, was she one of them?
Yeah,
Oh, I
I
didn't know
believe
that.
so. Yeah. So again, we still have openings for alternate ladies. Look how well you get along. Wouldn't it be fun to sit here in zoning commission meeting? I mean, you've already got a friend, you're not going in, not knowing anybody.
We'll be talking golf.
Well, you know what? Dan Varga is on that board, so he'd be fine with talking golf. He would enjoy that very much. So. No, I haven't been able, I think Mary Ann's just playing with me at this point, but I have big dreams yet, so
Don't give up on me.
I won't.
All right, we won't. Michelle,
Good evening.
good evening.
Nothing to add, just observing.
Okay. Mary Ann?
Everything's good, nothing to add.
The two of you are just sitting there talking about golf.
No, it won't happen for a few more months yet.
Chili open.
Anything else from anyone?
Let me see
Pat?
real quick.
Or anything?
No, I'm good.
No? Okay. Well, motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Pat, you're interested in